do me another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show, where we want you to subscribe, like, share, do the whole 9 yards, people. This month, we're everybody's walking through the iambeast network, and we're showcasing talent from music to entrepreneurs to you name it's coming through this door. There's a song called I Wear My Sunglasses at Night, but there's a reason I'm wearing my sunglasses right now, because we got no other than the up-and-coming musical artist, JB in the house. What's up, big dog?
Nothing much, not much. I'm doing good. Can't complain.
So, I like the glasses. What's up with the, what was the first thing I said when you came? I said, what's up with everybody wearing glasses? He was like, hey, when you're talent, you gotta do that.
It was just like, earlier this year, well, I used to wear them a lot. Probably, I say back when I lived in Illinois for a while. It's like 18, 17-ish. Yeah. But earlier this year, I got a corneal abrasion, which is like a sprain in your eye. Right. So it made my left eye real sensitive to the lights. But I got accustomed to kind of wearing them. I'm just like, well, if I could have
they look good,
like,
dog.
Turn the world on night mode.
So tell the viewers about JB.
Wow, that's tough. I wouldn't know where to start, other than I guess really what I am is just an artist, and I'm someone who uses his gifts to his best ability, no matter what it is, really.
You're the first one that says artist. Explain what an artist is in your definition. Not what we consider an artist, but what's your definition of the word artist?
So an artist to me is anyone who puts his heart in his craft, and then is able to express himself through that, because if you ask me personally, I might tell you Michael Jordan.
Right.
Because even with sports, your favorite athlete is based off of their playing style.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of that, tell me the reason for your name. We talked about that a little bit. Tell me the origin of that name and how that all evolved.
Okay, so JB, Jaye. So it pays homage to both my favorite rapper and then also the godfather of soul and hip hop. So
who's your favorite rapper?
Jay-Z, without a doubt. So Jay-Z, and then my initials, of course, is JB, and then that also pays homage to James Brown.
Now, why James Brown? Because you educated me just a minute ago.
Yeah, so when hip hop first got started, in New York, there really wasn't. We didn't have access to instruments, and of course, this was before software, DAWs, and things. So it's like people would be out in the streets with the turntables, and they would be spinning like a James Brown record. They find that loop, whatever that drum break is, and they just keep it going. Maybe might have some bits with vocals in there, but James Brown he deserves just as much, as a credit as like the actual MCs, DJs.
I wouldn't have never known that. I always, and that it's kind of funny because that just goes to show, don't let somebody stereotype you. Write your story, tell who you are, because I just got schooled.
Yeah,
I had no idea. My interpretation of James Brown was the Godfather of Soul. I did not know anything about his spin on the rap music industry.
Yeah, very, very influential. And then Michael Jackson is my all-time favorite artist.
All right.
Mike was inspired by James Brown too.
What are you learning from these artists, and what are you taking from your artists, bringing it into? You're 20-something years old.
26.
I'm 26. You're young. Let's be real.
Thank you.
You must be doing a lot of research. So what research have you done on the three that you mentioned, James Brown, Jay-Z, and Mike, and incorporating it into you as an artist, and why?
Okay. So James Brown was the originator, He came, and I feel like he showed just how is done. You know, his stage presence, the flair.
Right.
You know, he had it all. What Mike showed me is how far I could take it. You know, being the kid from Indianapolis, Indiana, this is how far you can go. You know, you can break the record for the biggest selling album of all time. You know, I think it was 9 Grammy nominations in one night.
You setting your goals up there, you know, man. Those are legends.
And then, you know, Jay-Z is just as great. You know, 25 or 26 Grammys? I may be wrong, but he's up there. You know, #1 albums, 14. That's a record right there. And then also the business aspect. You know, what he's done with Rock Nation, what he did with Rockefeller, Rockaware. Even now he's doing Paper Planes. It's like he's shown. He's given me that entrepreneur aspect of the industry, I'll say.
What exactly is your part of the craft? Are you a rapper? Are you R&B? What's your flavor?
I try not to box myself in.
I like that.
Really, just especially like with the stuff I'm working on right now. I'm down there thinking about dropping like a house Jersey club type of project here just for the summer.
Oh, that sounds good.
But it's honestly just whatever it is I'm feeling. But, you know, I try to be hands-on with it. So I produce most of my music. I distribute it also myself. Graphic design work.
So you do everything?
Anything I can get my hands on that I'm able to do within a certain degree. If it's a quality, I'm gonna do it.
You're 26 years old. Were there any struggles trying to get to where you at?
Definitely.
There can't be too many struggles. You're 26. So what were the struggles that you were facing to even get to where you at currently?
Well, so this is officially my 10th year creating music. Okay. So it's like the first year I started, it was a hump because I was actually in a group. During like the early 2010s, there was this wave of the jerk crews. Like there used to be this dance called the jerk, and so people would there'd be about maybe like 4 guys, you know, that would dance. And I remember at my school we had there was a crew, and there was one rapper in it, and they needed another one, but you know, I was also a dancer too, so I had was learning how to dance, you know, get their moves right, and then also rap. And my friend was supposed to be getting us in the studio. He's the manager, but it took long, and we never got in the studio. And then all my members, you know, we all started to, you know, move, go state to state, and things. So one of the biggest humps was just being able to record.
Really?
Yeah. And I actually, it's a crazy thing. I came across there's this kid in my class, and he sold me an iPod Touch. He sold me an iPod Touch for like, I think it was like $20-$30, and I downloaded GarageBand, and I started making songs off the iPod Touch.
Really?
Yeah.
So what happened to the manager guy that's supposed to get you guys in the studio? You guys are young.
We're still close.
You're hungry.
You know? We still close. It's just that some things are above people's, you know, ability. Right. But for me, I was eager to get some experience going. So I had to take matters into my own hands, and that's honestly been the learning curve throughout the entire 10-year process so far.
When you're saying taking matters in your own hands, elaborate on that.
Yeah, it's like certain things for me wouldn't have got done if I had waited on someone to, like the recording, you know, some of the cover art. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's nice because it's a new trade, you know, that you learn that I can help other people with at that point. You know, if another artist needs production, if another artist needs studio time, you know, graphic design. I've also been getting more into like the videography aspect, but you know, photography, all these things are
you really want to become multitask on all of it and not put yourself in one box.
Yeah, but like definitely do it in the like in a position, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like if my position is a artist in the studio, then I'm gonna be an artist. If it's a producer, then I'm a.
What do you like doing the most out of all these? I mean, it's cool to know all this, but which one is actually the passion for you? You can go with
Recording.
3 of them. Recording? Why?
Recording because for me I was always like drawing and like designing things as a child.
Right.
But music to me it was the medium where like I could express myself the best out of anything. So
What do you showcase more? What do you like to really focus on when you are recording? What part of the journey? You have some that we have one artist on. She likes to talk about love. You know, which one? What's your flow?
It's really whatever it is on film. I just try to make something authentic. So it might be a love song. You know, I might just be trying to make something, you know, to get you hyped. You know, it really just all depends on how I'm feeling and whatever it is I'm trying to get across. Because it's all different.
Now you say you had to take matters into your own hand. Was that one of the reasons that you was at that event that Uncle Jams was hosting?
For something like that, I would have to say no, because Sid had hit me. Like that wouldn't have happened, you know, without Sid. I didn't put together that event. You know, I didn't get those artists together. So like that was, you know, I gotta give that to Sid.
Okay.
On that.
So when you was there, what was your purpose for being there?
To showcase my skills, really.
To sing?
Yeah. Well, I was rapping at that one.
So you can do R&B and rap in the whole 9 yards.
So, yeah, I would like to say that. Although I feel like, here's the thing. So when it comes to my voice, I wouldn't say like I'm as talented, you know, as somebody there, you know, like Damon Carl, who, you know, he can hold the same note, you know, for a whole minute.
He makes you sing.
You know, you know, I'm not up there, but it's like I can give you a nice track. You know, I can give you a great track that you'll enjoy. So it's like that's what I mean by using my gifts to my ability.
Have you collaborated with artists, the young artists? I call them the young beasts, you know, in training. Have you collaborated with somebody like Damon Carr and the other artists?
I haven't collaborated with anybody in Meecap, but I definitely have been collaborating with other artists around the city. You know, that's on my goal though. That's still on my list to get some records in with them.
You got a lot. So what albums or what tracks have you wind up dropping already that you're like, people are like, yeah, that's going to elevate?
Recently I dropped this track. It's called Myself and I.
Okay.
And I took a Beyonce sample from Me, Myself and I and rapped on it, kind of just like for something just to break in the summer. But the reaction I got to it was crazy, because it was just like, well, so far this is my highest view thing on my page. But if you go to it, it's not what I expected to pop off like that, because it's very like boom bap, you know. It's not catchy. It's,
right.
You know, it's bars. It's like a classic. It's like a classic record.
Like if somebody wanted to hear your work, where do they need to go to?
I would prefer to send people to my site,
okay.
JB317.com, JayEB317.com, and then on streaming platforms, JB, JAYEB, all caps everywhere. I say, yeah.
How hard is it? You mentioned you took. I know that Beyonce, me myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, do you have to go through a lot of legal things to pull somebody else's beat and make it yours, or their samples? I'm not in the music industry, you know, but that's her.
I'm gonna say this. I will. I will, once I get to a certain point. You know, luckily I'm still on the merge, so
right.
It's like if a tree falls in the forest type of deal. But one thing that I do is always try to make sure that the artists get their credit.
Right.
you know, giving due, and then also if it is an artist that I can be able to get in contact with, then they get their songwriting credits. Because
Did you send that over to her and say, check this out? This is the
Beyonce-
remix.
Beyonce, if you can see this,
This is the
we need
remix.
that sample cleared with some promotion too.
What's your relations with the general?
With
Sid.
Sid, okay,
I called him today. He was talking to me. I said,
okay.
"What's up, General?" He
Yeah.
said, "I've never been called that before."
Yeah. So Sid was friends with my uncle. I think this was like back in the 80s when my uncle used to do a lot of production, and either they had met in Atlanta or Ohio. But you know, my uncle knows that my music, you know, I don't, cause you know I try to keep everything suitable for like all people to listen to it, and it got around to Sid. And I remember he hit me up, and he was like, "Whenever the time comes, when you're ready," he was like, "I can get your music into the right hands." He said, "I can't guarantee that they'll like it." He said, "But I can make sure it gets into the right
How
hands."
did that make you feel when he said that?
Great, especially you know like coming from someone who has done it.
Yeah.
And someone who has achieved some of the things that I'm trying to currently achieve, you know, like Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest confirmations I think that you can get.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody that came in here knows him, so he must know what he's doing, and you guys really follow him and really look up to him, and that's good. What's your end game?
To be one of the greatest artists of all time. And when I say that, it's like that doesn't mean to that doesn't necessarily mean to surpass somebody like Mike, but to be as impactful and inspirational. You know, like if I can inspire you know, that kid in class or that 15-year-old to go and pursue his craft and take it to wherever it is that God has a plan for me to take it, then that's all that matters right there. Because I can say that music has helped me. You know, it's kept me out of trouble.
Once again, how can the viewers reach you, get in contact with you?
You can follow me, you know, on social media, Jayesuave, Jayesuave. And then my website, JayeV317.com.
Man, you young. You still got a lot of experience and what's the one thing that the one artist, if they came to you right now and said, "I want to work with you," who would it be?
Probably either Kanye West or Frank Ocean.
Why?
Blonde by Frank Ocean is probably my favorite album of this past decade. 2010s for sure. And then Kanye has inspired a lot of like my production. I say fashion as well, and he's someone I consider almost like that pedigree like of Mike living.
You mentioned Kanye. What's the one song that he has that makes you go, "Wow"? We all have that one song that really takes us over the edge.
That's tough. I can't even think of it. I remember I used to really like Flashing Lights, Jesus Walks. I can't even name one. I would just have to like name maybe like three.
Those are three? Give me three.
Well, let me do five. Let's see. Heard Him Say.
Why Heard Him Say? There's a reason.
I like that sample. And then the chorus on it. Jesus Walks.
Why?
The message and the production.
Okay.
Flashing Lights, again, the production, chorus, you know. I think, who do you have on there? singing Dweller.
Okay.
Yeah, Dweller on there. Power is another nice one.
Why Power?
That track hits. That track hits. I really like Ye's production. Like when it comes to like putting stuff together, that's so I look up to on that end.
What's your fifth song by him?
Probably Runaway.
And why is that?
This man put together a 9-minute song with a piano, drums. He had a whole orchestra on there. Like that's, to me, like that album is insane.
How important is production in releasing the right? Because we get a lot of people that use the sample beats and all that, but how important is the production? You mentioned production on pretty much 4 out of the 5.
I say production, honestly, might be the most important aspect of anything. Like that's with the music, that's with even like what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. It's like how well something is put together is key. That's all that matters, is how well something is put together.
Okay.
Because I was gunning like my first 5 years.
What does that mean, gunning?
Just putting out content. I was putting out 15 track projects every month.
And what was happening? What was the end results of all that?
It was like now I could get those results if I wanted to off of one project, just because of how well I'm able to. So
now you work on quality versus just throwing content out.
Yes, that is the.
Do you find that's a big issue with most artists? They're just putting too much stuff out there, saturating that. There's really not making any sense.
Yeah.
Versus some quality stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of the times, nobody wants to be a perfectionist. It's like nothing is perfect, but it's getting it to a level where like you can play it to somebody and they're able to grasp it enough to the point where they want to listen to the whole track. Mm-hmm. And then after that track they want to hear the next one. And
what Barry Gordy used to do?
What's that?
He used to have his board of directors sit in, and when they would record a song, those board of directors would listen, and he would say, would you buy a sandwich with your last dollar, or would you buy that album? It's kind of crazy.
That's
a lot of people don't do that. Or... Yeah, would you spend your last dollar on that particular? And these were famous entertainers. You're talking about the Temptations, Smokey Robinson. Yeah. If their hit didn't register with,
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
He would say, hey, go back to the drawing board. We're not just putting out songs. We're putting out hits.
Shout out Barry Gordy.
So do you find a lot of people need to use that kind of method to be successful as well?
I think I need to use that method.
So you learned something today.
Yeah,
So the song that you performed at the event, what was the name of that song?
So I did Thanks for Giving, and then myself and I.
I'm going with this. You're going to have to lay down a little bit of that track, Me, Myself, and I, because now, see, it's registering in my head. So you got to show me the remix.
Yeah. I was definitely going to have to. I'll definitely inbox you, send a link to you, all that.
So what's your last end game right now? You're 26 years old. You want to be famous. You're going to be famous. Don't say
thank you. You're
going to be. Because if you put the positive out there, it's going to happen. So you're working towards that, but let the viewers know what the total end game is for you.
I eventually want to build a platform that is big enough to the point where, I'm just the seed for the tree of the next generation to come after me. That's what my end goal looks like. I want to take it as high as I can. Like if I want it to be almost like a like at the end of the day, it's like a debate, you know, between that kid from Gary and that kid from Indianapolis.
That's deep. Lead the viewers with something inspirational before we wrap up.
I'd say just follow your intuition on everything. And follow your intuition, because sometimes you'll get into spaces where you didn't plan for it, but when the opportunity comes, you know, push the shove, as long as you're ready to perform, then the results and how far you can take it is endless.
Now I'm gonna put you on the spot and perform. Give me a little sample of some of your music before we close out.
I had this one bar, or this. That's crazy because I really didn't expect to.
You got put on the spot.
You know, let's see, what's this verse that I wrote a while back? R.I.P. to the game I know, to the game I knew. Kiss my, I'm through. Nah, came through the rain, sleet, and snow. Where they move snow just to move out the door or stay in. Ever since the playpen, I've been swimming through these waters, moving past altars, bars for the churches. That's a God flow. Protect me from these hollows and evils below. Jealousy be the traits of a demon. Gotta watch on my own, cause I know they still scheming. I was facing threats out from where I stay, and put my life on the line like I'm calling to play. Never calling out a bluff, cause I keep it a buck. Almost 10 years in, I'm top 10 and not 10. Times 10, dog. 100 rating, I'm not them. Trying to turn what I have now to what has been.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's no other than the legend himself. J.B. on the Andre The Beast Crayton Show.
Here we go.